Thank you, Jill. This is taping, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Steve. First thing, I want to thank the Schufelt family for coming, planting a tree for my brother, for his sons, for his niece, and the rest of his cousins. I thank them very much for this. I would never have thought of doing something like this, but it worked out perfectly. And thank you everyone else here for joining us today. I appreciate every one of you, and so did my brother. One reason or another, he loved everyone. Didn't matter what you did or what you were doing. He always loved you. When Mike and I were born, it was -2 degrees in Burlington. And we were born the first identical twins in 1961, February 20th, 1961, at Joseph Brayett Hospital. When after both Mike and I were born, the doctor came to my mom and dad and said, "Alice, stay right where you are. There's another one coming." So after that, life as a twin has its advantages and disadvantages. Some advantages of being a twin were shared clothing, we shared birthdays, and we even shared girlfriends on occasion. And Debbie already told me it wasn't Debbie.
Sure, Deb.
Yeah. She said she married one Nelligan and it'll never happen again. On another occasion, Mom put us outside on the keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
On another occasion, Mom put us outside at the beach trip to, like she wanted to have a little time to herself, clean the house or whatever she was doing. And she got a phone call from Ernie Schufelt, which was right across the beach boulevard. At that time was the busiest road in Hamilton, because there was only one lane on the Skyway Bridge. Ernie says to my mom, she says, "Alice, where are the boys?" She says, "They're in the backyard playing." He says, "No, they're not. They're sitting in 2 chairs eating ice cream." We had to crawl over a 6-foot frost fence and crawl across the beach boulevard, which is the busiest road there, for the longest time. So she obviously, ran out the door and ran through the fence and, took us back. Ernie Schufelt happens to be a great uncle of my wife, Debbie Schufelt. I know Cheryl probably remembers the Schufelt store.
Best candy in town.
Yeah, the best candy in town. Yep. Mike was happiest when he was coaching or watching his boys play hockey. Mike was a great coach to many players over the years and won a city and championship with me as well, which he was proud of. Mike also loved to watch the Jasonator play ball and hockey, and show up on his motorcycle to watch a day of ball. We all know that he loved the Boston Bruins and any sport in general. Always had great conversations about sporting events. Mike loved golfing. He'd go golfing with his friends and family, and this is how the Homer Nelligan award started because he was the only guy I know that could control that foot club better than anybody else.
The famous foot wedge.
The famous foot wedge is right. So we are going to. We already tried to start, but because of COVID, we had to stop a couple of years back. But we're going to have the Homer Nelligan annual golf tournament starting next year in honor of Mike Nelligan.
Awesome.
We don't have to play it at the same golf course every year, but we can always, if everybody has suggestions, we can always change it. Mike loved fishing and hunting at Camp Nelligan and always looked forward to an annual moose hunting trip with his cousin Kenneth and myself and my dad and my Uncle John. Mike was very passionate about the camp, just like my father, and has now passed the love of the camp on to his boys. Mike loved to ride in his life and rode a lot of dirt bikes and was better on one wheel than he was on two. He loved riding his Harley Davidson, playing hockey, and Mike was always an experience. He always had an experience. I would set him up. This is when we were playing hockey. This is high school hockey. I would set him up at the point, and he would fire the puck and hit me in the ass every time. That's why I scored more goals than him.
Deflections.
Mike would always get the assist, though. Assist. We had a great childhood memories in going to Auntie Anne's and Uncle Roy's on the weekends for family dinners, where Mike and Kenny would make their lasting cousin bond, and other weekends going to Marg and Earl's, where we would get into trouble most of the time because of Sandy. Oh, no, wait a second, that might have been Donna with the St. Catherine's gang. In closing, I just want to say, fuck, I almost made it through it.
It's okay, Pat. You got it, Pat. You got it.
Just want to say, I know my brother will be missed by many family, friends, but I'll never miss him because I think about him every day. Love me. Love my brother.
Good job, Pat.
Excellent.
Thanks everybody for coming. Thank you to Aunt Debbie and Uncle Pat for having this. Just a couple things I could think of when I wanted to honor my dad. And just like everybody knew, he just loved to laugh. He liked to make people laugh. I was trying to think of things he used to say all the time when we were kids. Like he used to say, "Shoot!" He used to, yeah, shoot. He'd like to say, if somebody got hurt, if I was screaming, he screamed like a cat pooping carpet tax. Oh, and I never really got it because I always thought he was saying carpet tax, and I didn't know what carpet tax were until I figured out when I was an adult. It was carpet tax. And then there was always the one he said to everybody, which is, I haven't laughed so hard since the old lady got his boob caught in the ringer. Got her boob caught in the ringer. All the time. Oh, he's just so funny. He lived pedal to the metal. He just, he knew how to live. I remember when I was 16, we were going to pick up Ken to go up to the camp. My dad had a car that had a leaky fuel pump, and we got to the gas station, and he gassed it up all the way, and I said, "You sure it's a good idea to fill that up all the way?" And he says, "If we blow up good." That was just the way he was, And one of the funniest things that I think that I ever saw was my 20th birthday. Bobby and my dad came to the hotel I was working at, and we stayed there overnight to celebrate. And for like an hour, Bobby and my dad just wrestled on the floor. Like, they must have been the loudest people in the hotel. They're just fighting each other. And my dad gives Bobby a low blow. Bobby says, "You just hit me in the balls." He goes, "Anything to win, son." It's exactly how he played. Those kind of things are so so funny. He was a great coach and a really good hockey dad. Taught me how to play. Taught me to be the best player I could be. Pretty much all of my ability to play came from heart, which was from him. And when I was on all his teams, generally I was the captain of the team, which was nice. But years later, when I was 20 years old, I was playing for Penetang, and he drove all the way from Wasaga Beach to watch every single game. And there was a week where my captain of that team was suspended. So I was new to the team of guys who play their whole life together, and the coach gave me the captaincy because of the heart. When I came out for warm-up, he saw the seat, tapped his shoulder, tapped his heart. He knew that was important to me. He's one of the nicest people I ever met. Since he passed, I think about all the things that I do on a daily basis, like opening doors for people, or even in the lobby of my apartment, they drop off Amazon packages. I look through to see who's on my floor and I bring the packages up. I do those kind of things because that was what he did. So I can always think of him, because anytime there's an act of kindness, he was a part of me. I want to say thank you to Uncle Pat and Ken for urging him to call me not long before he passed away. I'll always have that. And I'm going to miss him. I love him. And he's going to be really happy that we all got together for this. Thanks.
I'm just going to keep mine kind of short and sweet. I normally don't like to talk too much. People probably say I do, but so Mike and I were first cousins, as most people know that here. Mike and I were obviously a lot closer than first cousins. He was a
Stop!
take a drink. So I think of the first that Mike taught me. Oh God.
Are you sure you're supposed to say this?
Mike taught me how to guzzle a beer. And I mean, I've never seen anyone can open their throat and literally pour beer down their throat. It was unbelievable.
Brother can do that.
Okay.
Can do that.
Mike showed me my first Playboy magazine.
You sure that wasn't a Playgirl magazine?
No, it was Playboy. I think Playgirl was in your room.
Me and David were looking at it.
And another crazy thing Mike showed me, believe it or not, was my first broken nose. Even though Cheryl gave me my first bloody one, Mike showed me my first one. But you know, Pat and I were talking today a little bit, and you know, trying to figure out, you know, where Mike and I, where our bond started. you know, I thought and thought about it. Mike and I have always been close since we were kids. I mean, we grew up with the Nelligans. The only thing I could really come up with is that Mike just wanted a taller, more handsome brother.
No, you know what it was? Because you had the best looking sister.
Oh, that's probably it.
The only.
I mean, I could stand here honestly and tell you stories about Mike and things him and I have done. Mike and I talk literally every single day. We talk, and you know, I helped him with things in his life, and he helped me as well. He was a good guy. It's funny, as strange as this may seem, that when Pat told me that Mike had an enlarged heart, the thing is, I always knew that all my life because he had a huge heart.
Just too bad he couldn't pass the fucker.
Yeah. Too bad you can't take a pass. But I always hear, like Pat said, I hear his voice in my head every day. He'll be missed dearly, but never forgotten. And to kind of end on a funny note, because I didn't want this to be all, you know, cry baby can bullshit. We were up at the camp one time, and this is when those who haven't gone into the camp, Greg went in once, saw a mouse, and never came back. But, we used to come in a long way. We used to cross the Spanish River, and God, I could tell stories all the time. Hey, Pat, when Pat had his, we were going across one time, and it was flooded, and Pat tells me to jump out. I'm like, fuck
I
you,
got a machine
yeah.
that's missing one wheel, and
Yeah.
he jumps on the friggin' back of the
So-
goddamn machine, and we're in this water, like turbulent water. I said, get off! Fuck you, he says.
I was kind of, you know, echoing what Pat had said, is that Mike loved that camp, and we have tons of memories from that camp. And that's one thing that I'll ask, that, you know, keep those memories alive, because they were great times. And so anyways, one time we were going in, and I had probably drank about 15 beers on the way in. And when it's overcast sky up there, it's dark, it's black. So I'm on the top bunk, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't see a freaking thing. And I start freaking out. And I'm literally screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm blind, right? Because I thought I was blind. And Mike and Pat are laughing, but I had, if you remember, kind of aging myself, those Timex Indigo watches. So I hit that, it lit up, I'm like, oh, I'm okay. But yeah, that was a funny time, and Mike never let me live that one down. But,
Me neither, I wasn't even there.
yeah. If I could just get everyone to cheers. Cheers. To Mike,
To
my
Mike.
first cousin, and cheers to everyone's first. All right?
Cheers.
Cheers to Mike. Thanks, everybody.
Hey. Thanks, Kenneth.
Thanks, Ken.
Oh, hold on, Jace. Hold on a second. I gotta get this.
No, JC's going to make me cry.
Okay. We all know how hard this is for everybody. And I want to thank everybody for being here. It's a beautiful day in Canfield. I love my Uncle Mike. I love him to death. For many, 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 many reasons. Reasons like he used to come to the house, he used to bring me a chocolate bar. Every time he came to the house, he'd give me some Skittles or some Smarties or an Eat More bar. And I still love Eat More bars. Another reason, he blessed me with some beautiful cousins that I can cherish very many life moments with the rest of my life. He also used to come to all my hockey games, all my softball games. He used to ride up on his motorcycle, and he was the coolest uncle ever. The coolest guy. I know you guys have a lot more memories, but I have very many fond memories of my Uncle Mike, and I will remember him like it was yesterday. He was a good man to me, and I love him. I just have a little poem to read. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in his palms. Not all twins walk side by side, but sometimes one needs wings to fly. Rest in peace, Uncle Mike. I will love you forever.
Thanks. Thank you, Jace.
Greg and Joe.
I'm gonna start by giving Greggy a Kleenex just in case he needs it.
I could have used that 10 minutes ago.
So basically, I just as well want to thank the Schufelts and Debbie and Pat because they've given us a place to remember Mike. Every time I pull in this driveway, obviously, I'm going to remember Mike. The other thing is, my sister Deanne couldn't be here. She wanted to be. And she's at this moment sitting quietly, talking to Mike herself. So, yeah. I just want to say I loved him so much. And I like Pat, love Pat just as much.
Are you sure?
Didn't sound like
Gotta be equal.
Sorry.
Anyways, Greg's gonna talk for us guys. And
All I can say to you, Cheryl, is Greg's moving in.
We get the big bedroom though.
I just wanted to sort of my impression of Mike from when I met Cheryl's about 40 years ago, and he was the three things that I could think of was he was hugely into sports. Like we had different teams and had empathy for misery and everything like that, but huge sports guy. He was music, we could relate right off the bat musically, and he was always into having a good time. There was just, I don't know, it was always when Mike came around, the party was starting, and everybody here likes to have a good time, so it's always great. I did want to, like, the Nelligan family parties are just, in my mind, legendary, and I know they came before with Uncle Roy and Auntie Ann, and before that possibly, but I mean I picked up on when they were at Roy and Ann's, and then Pat has held a lot of them. We've held a few, and but I just I'm getting to something here, but Mike had a few too in Smithville, Mike and Gail, and at Smithville and St. Anne's, and I'll never forget just one memory. I remember it had to be a Christmas party because it was freezing cold. Me and Cheryl are walking up the driveway, and the hockey net's there, and the front picture window is there, and there's a hole in the front picture window, right? And
What, a puck size?
well, that's the puck incident. This is what.
Fuck you, Greg. I think you got it wrong.
Well, do I? Okay.
No, you got it right.
Do I got it right? But
we
who
wanna
shot the puck?
We want to know who shot the puck.
Who shot the puck? Was it
Who put the
Will,
puck-
Bob?
It wasn't me.
Oh, the boys.
At St. Anne's?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Do you remember?
Me or my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't really remember, right? Okay.
Me or him, but we were out there. We did it together.
Yeah. I guess if you lined it up, it was a close miss, but
Yeah, he broke one of my windows downstairs in the
Yeah,
basement.
it's probably his
Missed the
shot.
net completely and put it right through the friggin' window.
I was thinking to myself,
That's
oh
what a
my
Jace.
God, this is going to be a terrible. Someone's in shit because there's a hole. But it went well. The party went very, very well.
I thought you were going to talk about how Cheryl took Uncle Mike's pants.
What's that? I missed that, Ken.
What are you talking?
When Cheryl pulled
I
Mike's
didn't.
pants.
You did.
No, that was that. I didn't know you were.
We,
Oh yeah.
we gotta wait till.
No, Cheryl
No.
was standing there going, I didn't know you were
We have to wait till Mike Senior passes before that starts.
I just want you to know you guys got the story all wrong. Ken was behind all of it.
We all know that's a classic Nelligan thing.
Yes, for sure. You don't like. I've got so many, but the other one that I can think of that you guys might not know about was, he was a huge golfer and golfed with him many times, and I eventually moved into a better set of clubs through work, and I said, Mike, you want my old driver? I think he tried the driver, and it was, truthfully, I know this for a fact, it was a $25 knockoff, but he could crush that, and it was like it kind of warmed my heart that I actually gave Mike something that he excelled his game, and he was really happy about that, so I was glad of that, and I think it got passed on to Bobby Boy, so hopefully you can hit it. If you can't, then I want it back.
It's okay if you can't, Sarah can.
Yes, someone will be able to. The other thing with Mike, and I know he hated this, like he hated very few times, but he would always sometimes need cash or whatever, and it was always that he's waiting on a check or whatever, and he borrowed money. Cheryl wanted me to mention this, and it goes to his character because he always hated having to do it, but anytime he borrowed money, like Mike right now will be proud to know he went to his grave, he paid off all his debts with us, and he was always like that. We had no problem with at a whim going to the bank for Mike, and it wasn't that often. I'm just saying that, I don't pay off my debts, right? Like I borrow money and I don't, something. But Mike did. Well, sort of.
If he owes anybody,
Yeah.
there's Will and Bob over there.
Go to Will and Bob. Shawnee over there. Hey, Sean. And in closing, I just wanted to say that Mike, it's hard to explain, but he always enjoyed life every day, and in my mind, it was unfortunate he had some physical injuries at the end of his life, real bad concussion. His knees were sore. He had arthritis, but I just, you know what, Mike, if you're looking down on us, I just pray you're not in any, the pain's gone, and I hope you'll rest in peace.
And he's with his mom right now.
Yes.
He's with his mom and his grandmothers, but with his mom especially.
His dogs, his whoever.
He's with his mom.
Okay. Cheers, Mikey.
Cheryl.
Well, if everybody can kind of gather around for this next piece, please. Just, let's get around. And, this is Mikey.
A fancy bag.
So, yeah, this is Mikey, or parts of him, and not sure what parts, but hey, he would like the joke, okay? I'm not trying to be inappropriate.
The circumcised part.
I was thinking of the Pope's nose.
Part away anyway.
Anyways, we love you, Mike, and we're gonna put you here, and we're always gonna have a place to say hi, Mikey. We loved you, Mikey, and I'm sure Mike would just be so happy because he has so many people that loved him. So I'm gonna drop you in, Mikey. I don't know how far down you're going, but your brother Pat said it was far. Maybe not all the way to H-E-double-H-E-L-L, but...
Better make the tree
I can't
grow
even
better.
see it.
Anyways, guys, there he is. We can all have a spot thanks to Deb and Pat and the Shoefelts.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay. I got something special for you guys as well.
Yeah.
We go
See
back
if
to
you-
the...
Guess this tune.
We're gonna leave Mike out here for a while.
Excellent.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks, Steve.